Today I'm here with Charlotte from Charlotte in Japan. And today we're going to talk about the things we wished we knew about Japan before we moved here. Hopefully they're helpful. Hopefully we're not just stupid people.
Here's something that I really wish I had known. This happened on my first trip to Japan. So I was 17 years old. Didn't really speak Japanese. I had like not even the basics down. I knew a few words like ringo and orange. Like
Your fruits.
seriously, like it was bad. But we were shopping and the people at the store would be like, "Irashaimase," when you go into the store. And I figured they were like saying hi to me, because in Canada you'll go to a store and people will be like, "Hi, how are you?" or something. So I was like, oh, I guess they're saying hi, I'll say it back. So they'd be like, "Irashaimase," and I'd be like, "Oh, irashaimase." And I'd say it back to them. So any of you guys that speak Japanese know how idiotic that is. Nobody that was with me told me I shouldn't be doing that, so I did it several times. And then finally my Japanese teacher who was with us like saw me doing it and he's like, no, they're welcoming you to the store, you don't say it back. And yeah, that was so embarrassing. I felt like such an idiot. So when you go to stores in Japan, they will say irashaimase and it means welcome to the store, and it's not something that you say back to them. The typical response is to just like ignore them, or you could like nod to them and like acknowledge that they're there, but most people will just completely ignore it. It's just something that happens, it's something that they do, and you don't need to, it's not rude to not say anything back or not acknowledge them. So
Yeah, I was surprised by that in the beginning because I felt rude not acknowledging them.
right?
Because in America, like if
I
someone's
still feel
like,
kind of
hi,
uncomfortable
yeah, like I'm always used to saying like hi back, or
Yeah.
like thank you for welcoming me or whatever. But
Yeah.
here, you ignore them. Like I still will usually like at least smile.
I had no idea that Japan was so hot in the summer, so I was not prepared for the weather here. I don't know why, but when I studied Japan in Canada, we never talked about the weather, and for some reason I guess I just kind of assumed it was nothing too like extreme. I wish I had known that so I could have bought some like proper clothing because it was so hot. It's the humidity.
It's so humid in the summer. Literally, I would walk out my dorm to go to class, and within a couple minutes, I'd be drenched in sweat. And then
Yep. Not even a couple minutes, like 20 seconds. It's ridiculous.
So a lot of places turn on the air conditioning really high.
Yeah.
So once you've been in there for more than 5 minutes, then you can start to get like really cold. So
Yeah.
even though it's hot, you can see I brought a jacket with me to Tokyo.
Your hair will be a frizzy, humid mess. And if you're not used to that, it's like you don't know how to deal with it. Because in Canada, my hair is always smooth and I never have any problems. And then all of a sudden in Japan, I have to be so careful with it. I have to put like oils in it and products in it so that it doesn't frizz out in the humidity.
All the Japanese people will be walking around with perfect hair because
you'll be the
they're
crazy guy,
acclimated to
Jean.
the weather.
Yeah.
And then my hair's just like everywhere.
Yep.
Do bring products that you know work for you.
Yeah.
You can get stuff here, but you'll never know like how it's gonna turn out. And sometimes it can be really expensive, or like sometimes they don't have the thing you want. Like especially for me, like lots of different acne medicine they don't sell here. You can get it online, but they're importing it from America.
Yeah, so
online.
it's a lot more expensive. So
yeah,
bring like as many like beauty related products with you as possible. Probably the stuff in your own country is gonna fit your skin type and everything. You're used to it, you know what works for you.
Hair oils, right? A lot cheaper in America.
Yeah. Every time I go back to Canada, I will bring definitely bras and underwear because the sizes are a lot smaller here. And also shoes. My feet are a little too big for Japanese shoe size. How about you?
I have a size 7.5 in America for women, and I'm at the largest commonly found size here, which is 24.5 centimeters. Even like bras, yeah.
Bras, yeah. We won't go into details, but just know that you can't get like probably like over, I would say like a B cup. And it's not that it's like the cups are the problem, it's the band around the rib cage is really small. I guess nobody has a large rib cage here.
They do have really small rib cages.
And like I have an abnormally large rib cage, so even in Canada I need like a big size. But here it's just like not gonna happen.
When I first came to Japan, I noticed that they didn't have a like Walmart level store.
Yeah.
Which is like very low end, and they don't have like one large cheap center like that.
that has like everything. Like there are cheap stores, like say like cheap furniture stores or cheap clothing stores, but there's no like one place that has it all.
And because we're used to finding lots of stores that just have it like in one place,
yeah,
I thought that you couldn't really get cheap stuff in Japan. But you can, you just have to know where to look.
Yeah.
So you need to know like the names of the cheap stores specifically so you can go there. So for like furniture stores, there's Nitori, which is a very cheap furniture store.
Yes.
There's the catalog Nissan, which is reasonable.
Yeah.
They have like IKEA here in some cities.
Yeah, for clothing, they have really cheap stores like Shimamura. Not like super cool or anything, but sometimes you can find cute stuff there.
And they have, of course, thrift stores here.
Yes! And the thrift stores are amazing, and they're gonna spat in the camera with excitement. The thrift stores here are amazing.
They are. The clothes at thrift stores here are trendy.
Yeah.
So they're not like the really old, like in America. I'm sure it's similar in Canada.
Oh yeah, it's like,
all, like
they accept everything. So you'll get like sweaty t-shirts with holes in it. It's like,
everything is shoulder pads because it's from the 80s.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But no, the thrift stores here are really good, and there are two types. There's like the ones that resell brand stuff, so they're kind of expensive, but don't be fooled because they have the really cheap thrift stores too.
Yeah, there's both. I could just live off of thrift stores here.
That's what I do.
Else. You can find the greatest stuff there.
This is a little abstract, but I wish I had mentally prepared for how inflexible some companies can be here. Like I talked about this a little bit before in kind of like my Shogunai video, where sometimes you just have to accept things the way they are. Just Shogunai, that's the way it is. Things that we're used to in America, like the customer is always right. And not even like being a dick about it, but like just things that we take for granted.
Yeah.
Like people giving you extra sauce packets.
Oh my god, that does not happen here. Ever.
Yeah.
Do not ask for a sauce packet. They'll look at you like you're crazy and they won't know how to handle the situation.
I just started ordering pizza here because I was missing pizza from not eating it for so long, and I like putting crushed red pepper on my pizza. And in America, you get like 5 crushed red pepper packets, or you can ask for more. And if you ask, like the worker will literally just put his hand in and grab a giant handful and put it in your bag. And here, I asked for 1 extra red pepper packet. It's a packet this big, and they're like, "No, we can't do that." I was like, "It cost your company like 2 yen."
Not even.
Why can't they have more crushed red pepper?
It's like, can I pay extra for one? No, I don't think that's on the manual.
Yeah, they're not very flexible, like dealing with things that aren't like on the menu.
Or if you want like extra of something, or like you want something like
you
taken out of your burger or something, I don't think you can really do that either.
No. When I first met June's family, we went out to Gustle. And I got a burger there, and it came with onions, and I was like, I don't really like onions. Can we ask them not to put onions on it? And June had to talk it over with his mom, and he's like, can we do this here? And they were both like, I don't think you can do that. And I was like, well, can you just try? Why don't we just ask? And so they're like, okay. And they asked the waiter. The waiter was like, okay, I'll try. And then when it came, it just had the onions on it.
They didn't even explain.
They didn't say anything about it. They were just like, nope. Here's your burger. This is the way it comes on the menu.
God.
You just get things on the menu, and like you can take stuff off if you want.
Yourself. It's just how it is here.
But I also feel bad asking because you can tell the workers get stressed out because they're not used
to people asking.
And so like they panic and they're like, I don't know, I need to ask the manager. I'm like, it's just a crushed red pepper. You have to ask the manager about it. It's just one packet of pepper. Feel really bad about it. So be prepared. Be mentally prepared.
Use a card for the train. Using the IC card is so easy. So I really wish I had known about that. It took me like 3 years of living in Japan to realize that it was so much easier to use a card. I don't know why, but I was always buying the tickets. So the problem is when you like buy the tickets, you have to look at the map, you have to see where you're going and how much it'll cost, you have to calculate how much it'll cost, and then you have to buy that amount of tickets, so it's kind of like a pain in the ass. But if you have the card, you can fill it up with money and have like, say, 2,000 yen on your card, and then you can just beep, and you don't really need to look at how much your trip's gonna cost. It'll automatically just take off how much money from your card that your trip costs, so it saves you time.
There are a bunch of different brands of cards. There's like
Yeah.
Pasmo, Suica.
No, Suica are the two in Tokyo. I think you guys have some different ones down in Nagoya.
I don't know. I used one I got in Tokyo, so.
Yeah,
don't know
Suica
the
and
names.
Pasmo are the main ones.
Some of them work differently. Like the one in Nagoya has a point system. You build up points and then you get a discount
That's awesome.
at the end or something like that. But anyway, it's cheaper to use a card and it's so much more convenient. And I feel uncool using tickets now because everyone else uses a card and they just walk through and they're like,
Yeah.
beep, beep, beep.
I'm always
And then
surprised when I see someone
I
using
my
a ticket.
wallet and take out a ticket and like gotta put it in the machine and pick it up.
Even
Yeah.
if you're just here for a trip, like even if you're not moving here, like get a card. I think it costs 500 yen to make a new card, but it's so worth it.
I'm sure there are like tons and tons of things. We'll probably be able to think of more stuff later
Yeah.
and do another video
Part two.
on this. But
There's
for
lots of
now-
stuff we didn't
yeah.
know.
But for now, that's some of the stuff we wish we had known before we got here. So I hope it'll be helpful for you guys. Thank you for watching. Again, check out Charlotte's channel if you're not subscribed to Charlotte. So, alright, thanks for watching. Bye! Bye!
僕がですね、日本で買ったストライプのタイと、ストライプの向きが違うなってことに気づきました。